before Grom.
Giving your Thanos knockoff a General Zod line. You should never cross the spoof streams, Invincible.
Is that really what I look like?
What I say whenever I accidentally look in the mirror somehow makes it into the episode.
When's a new season of Seance Dog coming out?
Asking the guy who writes the comic when the animated adaptation of his work is coming out. You know, comic book writers don't have any control over animation studios, the entertainment companies that stream their shows, or how they split the seasons into two strange chunks that completely kneecap the momentum, right?
You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
Okay, this entire section where the animators tell impatient viewers to settle down to be patient in between new episodes is f***ing hilarious. I applaud the unspecified genitals it took to slip this into an actual episode of Invincible. Take one sin back.
But sometimes the artists get carried away and it kind of looks like a different show.
Or sometimes the artists carry on with a meta bit for just long enough that you start to wonder if the meta-ness has circled back around to just be a very real confession of sins.
I'd go myself, but...
We need some more drama in our relationship, which honestly is the only reason why I'm calling you and not any of the half dozen other guardians.
Thanks for holding on to that stuff for me.
Making your girlfriend without super strength carry your shit instead of just stashing your goods on a skyscraper where you can easily retrieve them later. If you're going to take time to hang a lantern on cutting animation corners, why not mention how often you reuse models? I've seen this lady like several times already and used this guy twice within the same scene.
Even a bullet to the head couldn't kill you.
I mean, it could. Just because that one happened to blow out an apparently useless chunk of your mind doesn't mean the next one won't strike a more vital area.
Do your pals sound as dumb as you do?
That's Squidist. Thinking slow motion will enhance these tiny and highly ineffective explosions.
Next time, open with that.
Rex would be Rexlin at TVSins.
It was either that or retire and open a bar someplace hot.
Thinking about opening a bar, aka pursuing bankruptcy.
We're still the best superhero team on the f***ing planet.
I'm saying this not because it isn't true, but because I'm pretty sure it is true, and that makes me so very disappointed.
So, those drones cost approximately...
If they were so expensive, why didn't you put them in training mode so they couldn't destroy each other? You know, for the smart one, you do a lot of dumb shit.
Let me fix you.
Saying this to an actual human being.
You got a guy who's supposed to be a genius, but the best idea he could come up with was to make himself a new body with DNA he stole from a coworker, so he could date a different coworker who currently does not want to date him.
Did you see his old body? Plus, what's with all the self-effacing meta commentary in this episode? You think pointing out how ridiculous this team is going to score any bonus points with me? But bonus sins? Sure, absolutely. 3 of them.
Our leader's a guy who's so old, he shits dust.
U.S. politics.
And finally, whatever the hell Shapesmith is.
Dude, he's a Martian. You already knew that. It was disclosed 2 episodes ago. Weren't you paying attention?
We're already 2 members down. You want to quit?
You were just trying to send this guy on mandatory leave in the last episode. Make up your mind, Cecil. Do you want Immortal on the team or not?
Your old job just opened back up.
Putting the kid you previously deemed unfit for the job back into the leader role. Wouldn't Black Adam be the better choice if you wanted experience to lead? Were they both sleeping on top of their covers? Psychopaths.
I don't know what's worse. D.A. Sinclair taking me apart or those doctors putting me back together.
Probably being taken apart since it necessitated the being put back together.
Remember, you asked for this.
He did not. He simply asked who made the decision to erase his memories, a question you could have easily answered with 2 words. You did.
Mr. Grayson, the dean will see you now.
Wait, are you telling me they rehearsed Mark's excuse right in front of the dean's secretary? She was 5 feet away as they practiced lying out loud? Was she invisible? How do you not see her?
It's Dean Winslow now, Mark.
I didn't know you'd moved schools.
Stealing the principal follows his students to college idea from Boy Meets World. Also, I've known many fine students who've been kicked out of college and none of them ever met with the dean. I'm pretty sure the only thing college deans do these days is glad hand and accept checks from boosters.
I chose to have my memories erased?
Saying this as soon as the doors open without taking time to see if anyone but Cecil was in the office.
Oh, hey. Hi, April.
Wait, if Mark was home this entire time, why was April still there? Mark could have been watching his little brother. What, was he taking a nap?
He brought me a tree once instead of flowers.
Well, that's f***ing hilarious. Sure wish we could have gotten to see this side of Nolan, but that's fine. I hear telling instead of showing is all the rage these days.
Is it really a relationship if you're mostly alone?
For your information, Debbie, the answer is yes. The relationship I'm about to have with this calzone in front of me is going to be incredibly intimate and explicit.
I'm missing parts of me, and I don't know what to do.
Did you just start a new game? And is your name Samus?
I don't know the official number, but I think I'm about 98% machine.
How How can you live with that?
How could you live without it? Personally, the weakness of my flesh disgusts me. Sitting down hurts my back and my ass. Where's the justice in that? Where's the grand design? Nah, chrome me up, baby. I'm the first in line. Also, it turns out your brain makes up about 2% of your body weight, so the 98% math checks out. But what I refuse to believe is with all the video of Donald dying several times, often in explosions, you're telling me his brain remained intact through all of it? Did none of Donald's enemies aim for the head? Were all of his deaths caused by Thor?
No calls to go save the world. It's just us tonight.
I have serious ethical concerns with this.
Staring a gift horse in the mouth. You are literally getting everything you've asked for from Mark this evening, and he busted his ass to make it happen. Don't lessen that effort on Mark's part by questioning the ethics, at least not out loud. Amber remains conscious, despite being so high up in the air that there's less, well, air. Also, wouldn't it be freezing that high up? Should have brought her a parka. Great animation and a beautiful image, and then you realize your toilet is likely cleaner than that river. Well, not mine, but someone's toilet. Somewhere. Why was that funny? This is like women laughing while eating salad levels of hilarity. I'm glad Mark protects his secret identity so thoroughly. It's not like everyone's carrying around highly advanced cameras in their pockets these days.
Should I ask Cecil for a salary?
What? You're getting the shit beat out of you on a regular basis and you aren't being paid? Listen, Mark, a wise man once said, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Have some self-respect in your worth, man. Oh, now he cares about his secret identity?
We're doing everything we can in case this turns ugly, Mark.
Except setting up some kind of monitoring system so you guys stop getting completely surprised by these f***ing aliens.
Human civilization has less than an 18% chance of surviving the next 2 centuries without the loss of billions of lives.
Never tell me the odds. Really, don't. I'm so sick of this humans are only going to destroy themselves, so let's enslave them cliché.
We have the technology to repair their climate.
I'm not convinced humanity lacks the tech to solve climate change in this universe. They've literally made Terminators like Donald. Pulling carbon out of the atmosphere and removing plastic from the ocean seems like child's play compared to that.
Based on bone and muscle density scans, the simulations give Mark a less than 18% chance of surviving a combat encounter with her.
I already told you not to give me the odds. And not only did you not listen, but you gave me the same exact percentages before.
Satellites are picking up a behemoth-class kaiju. South Pacific. Closing fast on a passenger cruise liner.
This isn't the first kaiju to appear in this world, so I guess my question is, if you know there are giant monsters in the water, why are cruise ships still even a thing? That industry should have crumbled the first time a kaiju destroyed one of their monster-sized buffet tables.
Viltrumites do not kill for pleasure, even if they sometimes take pleasure in killing.
How the hell did she say this with a straight face? Does she work in Viltrumite HR or some
Look, there's a ship in danger. I need to go help.
What is even the point of the Guardians? They're so inept that Mark has to skip out in the middle of an incredibly fraught showdown with an intergalactic threat? All right, hear me out. I know it's a big dumb animal, but if something the size of a fly punched the shit out of me while I was eating a hamburger, I'd at the very least interrupt my meal to make sure it was dead. Why did he land on the ship? Why not just go back to punching it?
Well, that's one way to do it.
It was the obvious thing to do, and as is custom in this show, it's the last thing someone tried. Also, that ship is now in pristine condition. No damage whatsoever.
Maybe humanity's not perfect.
Ain't no maybe about it. Have you met humans? We're pretty f***ed up. We made 5 Highlander movies. 5! There can only be one Mark. Hold it. Freeze frame. I know people give the overworked and often underpaid animators shit for making us wait 4 months for 4 episodes, but can we just take a minute to appreciate the absolute beauty of this shot? The lighting of the sky, the colors, the forms of Mark and Anissa just before Invincible gets expedited shipping down to Earth service. The artists knock it out of the park with this show.
One goddamn Viltrumite all by our lonesome and we're f***ing useless.
I agree. You are f***ing useless here. So why do we keep cutting back to Cecil and Donald for commentary? Every time the action gets good, they cut away to someone commentating on said action and it kills the momentum. Who do you think you are, My Hero Academia?
Just say the goddamn words, Mark.
Well, I'm actually impressed that Mark refuses to yield in the face of an unstoppable opponent. I call BS on his earpiece still functioning through all of this physical trauma. That earpiece must be...
I pray you come to your senses before then.
You pray to who exactly? Do the Viltrumites even have a god? I always assumed they were spaceists. Like space atheist, get it? Spaceists. Leaving your phone on the edge of a tall building instead of in your pocket. You and your earpiece might be invincible, but that smartphone is not. And since Cecil apparently isn't paying you, I'm assuming Debbie would have to drop another $700 to replace it. Or maybe even twice that if she uses an Apple.
Hello, Mark. When are you coming home?
Well, Angstrom has come a long way from being a pacifist, hasn't he? Threatening a grieving widow and a baby. I can't wait to hear his moral justification for that one. With how big an empty space is, it's ridiculous that he runs into their ship. But I'm really sitting this for how dumb he looks flying along on his phone. Someone get this man a spaceship, please.
Foolish, you know, Ben.
Anissa, who we previously believed to be a tactical genius, falls for this obvious playing dead trick. When you have the same intellectual weakness as brown bears, it doesn't inspire much confidence in your mental prowess.
I hate these nerds!
Are we in a line?
Can you give me a break? I just wanted to wait in line.
It's been 2 days. You're fired.
I'm quite serious. He picks up things quicker than any child I've ever worked with.
Oh my gosh, he's a genius!
We're doing everything we can in case this turns ugly, Mark. But we don't have a lot of good options. Keep her talking as long as you can.
Do you know the human head weighs 8 pounds? Do you know bees and dogs can smell fear?
Nobody makes me bleed my own